Hello there. To whoever has been fortunate enough to find this tape, I congratulate you. You are one of the chosen few in this terrible world to retain that curiosity an old friend of mine had. That means there is something special about you. Who am I? Bill Steingarten is my name, head of security at Lockwood Estate. If you are here, you must know about who Benjamin Lockwood is. Or was. Yes. If you have found this tape, it is my unfortunate duty to confirm your beliefs. Benjamin Lockwood is indeed dead. Officials were able to find his body after an eventful skirmish taking place in his own house. But of course, you must know about that. Anyways, it may be best if I just get along to it. I like you. I really do. You know that when something is suspicious, you don't let it slip by. You want to find out what you can. Why are we here, you ask? How did it all come down to this? The world is in such a miserable state, isn't it? I have seen many people who have lost their jobs to the circumstances of this great mistake. Cutbacks, lawsuits. InGen is the one behind all this, they all say. So far ahead of the game back then, but all that luck soon ran out. But I can tell you the real story behind this whole affair. I can tell you who was really behind it all. Now you would think that a rundown man like Lockwood would be the one to blame. But you're wrong. It wasn't Benjamin. It was Mills. The head of his affairs, Mr. Eli Mills. The man was in charge of his entire estate, all the while Mr. Lockwood was laying on his deathbed. All disrespectful things for a mortal man to do. Hosting an illegal auction on prehistoric creatures has to be one of the worst of them. The police were unable to find the reason behind the man's death. They had confirmed that it wasn't from natural causes, but I know what happened. The very same reason that cane is in pieces on the floor. That pillow that sits there, when it sat on the opposite side of the room. Why do I tell you this little detail, you ask? It is to give Mills no favors, even in death. What Lockwood did was not right. But Eli was the one who caused everything. And now I tell you this, because I had a hand in everything. You see, I've been there. To that island. He sent me there to collect something. 6 months after that new park went down, I must admit I had my reservations about it. But he was adamant about it. So many of my men lost that night. And then he made them. 2 monstrosities made from that giant white beast. He wanted to use them as the ultimate weapon in war. Just one little red light on the target and it's like it was never there. Just a bloody mess as the only evidence. You see, it all happened just so fast. 1 minute, the thing was behind bars, and the next, so many lives lost. The estate closed off permanently, all of Lockwood's assets frozen, the last bit of Hammond's legacy tainted. All because a mortal man wanted to play God. Fortunately, the male was killed. He was the most unpredictable of the two. Even when there wasn't a light, he had a particular hatred for Mills for some reason. If it wasn't the Rex, he would have eaten it. And there you have it. The nitty-gritty of it all. And that's what you wanted, wasn't it? You wanted answers, and you got them. Right from the best source imaginable. I salute you, my friend. You are an admirable person. You knew the risks of coming here, finding this tape, and hearing everything about the devil. Now, you must have a few more questions. Somehow, after hearing all that, you must want to know as much more as possible, like, where are the dinosaurs now? What happened to the good doctor? Or, why is the door locked behind me? I only have answer for the last one. You see, I did say there were 2 of them. I wanted to give these creatures a better life than anything else could have given them. The male was too wild to be tamed, but the female, she is far more controlled. Now hold still, my friend. The light will be automatically put upon your chest. Do not try to run. Do not try to fight. You are not walking away from this. You know too much now.
Hold still.
December 22nd, 2015. The Board of Directors are here. For the first time in years, she has something to show them. That monster they met in the lab.
Geez, it's been a while since Jake left. I'll never understand why Masrani won't give the order to put that thing down. The way it looks at you, you'd think it was seeing straight into your soul. I just hope he gets back soon. How long could it take to lock an entire gate? There's no way it could get out anyway. I mean, it's not like we're John Hammond or anything. Oh, what the heck, I'll head down and check on him. Okay, something's wrong. The gate was open. It could have gotten out. Jake's nowhere to be seen. I was forced to go in to find him. Oh man, Claire would have a pink slip ready if she knew I wasn't here. I've got to find... Wait, what's that? Oh dear gosh. It's his badge. He never takes that off. Oh no. Please no. Jake. It's out here. No sudden noises. I can make it back to the gate if I...
Attention all throughout the world personnel. We have an active out of containment. Both everything north of the park affected immediately.
Wait, no.
Repeat, we're closing everything north of the park. Remain calm and stay clear.
think I lost it, but I'm not sure. It hurt my walkie-talkie. I don't know what else got out, but it can't be any worse than this. I only hope it doesn't find a way off the island, if that thing gets to the mainland.
Hello there. If you are watching this tape, then I congratulate you. You have been selected to join the Jurassic Park Facilities team. You have been assigned to station at Site B to help our scientists oversee breeding regulations. This tape is to give you instructions on how to help Site B function properly. First of all, it is important to keep surveillance on all of the island's wildlife. No matter the size, nothing is to be overlooked. Secondly, it is imperative to know everything about every species on the island. The Compsognathus, our smallest resident, is rarely seen hunting alone. The Ceratosaurus may be an intrepid hunter, but its stomach is far bigger than its brain. But this next dinosaur is very important to know about. Maybe even more so than Experiment 2232. The one dinosaur you must always keep an eye on is the spine.
Okay, so as Ronnie has given the order to put down this dinosaur they call Experiment 2232, honestly we haven't really been told what kind of dinosaur this is. Maybe it's just a dangerous herbivore, maybe it's like one of the sauropods that have gotten into that weird root. I'm not sure. But either way, we're setting out some tainted meat for it. We have studied its behavior. Well, they have. We haven't seen it yet, and they tell us that they react solely to white meat. So, we place some poison into some mutton, and we put it out here for Experiment 2232 to find, because they tell us that this is where it usually stays, and so we're going to set it out here, and we're going to go back to the ship. Okay, we are halfway across the ocean now. We are slowly approaching the... Wait, what's that? Sounds like my...
Mike,
Sounds
Mike, we gotta teleport
Hello?
now. We gotta go back to the island. We can't go back to the mainland.
What? What?
It's here. It's
What are you
here on the
saying?
boat. Get the captain. Tell him to turn the boat around. Mike!
Something's wrong here.
Mike!
David, do you read me? Do you copy? Over. David! David! Gosh. Something's not right here. I'm gonna go to the other side of the deck. That's where David is. I gotta see where he is. I can't find anyone else. What is going on here? Everyone else is missing. The captain's still up at the steering wheel. I don't know if he's heard anything or not. I haven't heard anything. Wait. Gosh. No. No. Ah! Captain! Captain! You gotta open up! You've gotta turn the ship around! Listen to me! Open the door! Alright! Alright, it's here! You've gotta turn the ship around! Captain! Ah!
This is an InGen approved message. All content shown in the preceding footage has been approved by fully qualified Jurassic Park personnel. Jurassic Park does not hold responsibility for any discomfort given to the viewer for any misconduct shown in the following tape. Do not trust Henry.
Welcome to Jurassic Park, where the past comes alive in a thrilling, heart-pounding adventure like no other. Prepare to be mesmerized by our awe-inspiring dinosaurs, towering landscapes, cutting-edge technology. Join us as we unlock the mysteries of the prehistoric world and experience the ultimate journey in the realm of ancient creatures. Brace yourself for an unforgettable adventure at Jurassic Park.
Warning, tropical storm inbound. Last shuttle for the dock leaving in exactly 5 minutes. Repeat, last shuttle for dock leaving in 5 minutes. Please vacate your current post and stay on the main road, and do not let the T.
Reach.
June 15th, 1993. It was finally time. Alan Grant, Ellie Sattler, and Ian Malcolm, with their blessing in Jen's hard work, would finally be recognised. After 20 years of research, they were ready. They arrived the day before it happened. But then the storm hit, and the main power was lost. Two casualties were confirmed the night of the outage. Dennis Nedry and Ed Regis.
We are ruined.
But things could not have gotten any worse for us.
Why?
This is all my fault.
William Steingarten, born in Colorado in 1935. Steingarten was the CEO of Biosyn Genetics. It was his dream to not only create something revolutionary, but to give the world something new to think about. He was formerly acquainted with Benjamin Lockwood and John Alfred Hammond. Oh boy, old Steingarten, you see, he had the vision to become a figure of inspiration, someone who could really teach the world to appreciate life. But he could not ever deny the fact that his lack of faith would cause his downfall before he ever had a chance. The profits had steadily begun to decline. People were forced to find work elsewhere just to make ends meet. And when he was left all alone, he turned to the bottle. That bottle took the best years of his life, and his family could only watch as he became so unrecognizable. It was like he was a completely different person. And then one day, he just
Vanished.
On August 17, 2018, his body was found, having committed suicide by his bed.
Steingarten! What are you doing? Oh my gosh, what is that thing? What is that thing? Get me out of here! Get me out of here! Open it! Get me out of here! Help me! Please! Get me out!
Several weeks after the Lockwood incident, authorities searched the house and found the body of Bill Steingarten. No trace of his assistant's body was ever found. The back door to the basement was mysteriously left open, as if it were opened by someone else. Forensic experts have examined it, and have not found any human fingerprints on it. Not human, but what looks to be something in the reptile family. And one other piece of evidence was found near the found GoPro.
Which provided the footage.
Log Entry 1. Date, November 16, 1991. My name is Henry Wu, lead geneticist at InGen Labs. For those who find these tapes, let it be known that these incidents that brought you here were not meant for the public eye, so it is strongly suggested that you refrain from any and all indulgence of these subjects to anyone outside the room. Today has marked an important achievement for InGen. Today, we have successfully created something truly remarkable. Something that not even John Hammond himself had ever dreamed of. Today, we have constructed a truly intelligent creature. Velociraptor mongoliensis. With speed that matches that of a cheetah, it is without a doubt the most lethal carnivore on the planet. And as for its problem-solving skills, animals such as the chimpanzee and pig are put to ultimate shame. Credit goes to one Howard King for this breakthrough. At 6:45 a.m. today, John Hammond himself came down to see these creatures, and he definitely made the right call. Although Robert Muldoon has made the suggestion of immediate termination, Hammond insisted that they be put on display. Spare no expense, he said. And I told him the truth. I told him that as long as they were well fed and kept behind these walls,
then they wouldn't even think of going beyond the paddock. Of course he agreed, and with that, the vote was passed. As soon as the park is opened, they will be the first main attraction our esteemed guests will see. Good. Very good. That means he never suspected it. For you see, the velociraptors were not the only assets that were up and about that day. There was yet one that was overlooked. Forgotten by Hammond. I call him Experiment 2232. Species, Tarbosaurus batar. It is one of the defining members of the family Tyrannosauridae, and the closest relative to the Tyrannosaurus rex. It is a marvel of a species, and one that is criminally shadowed by its cousin. Originally, we had engineered 10 of these specimens, but after a week, it was discovered that 2232 did not play nice with its siblings. 2232 is currently nearly a month along in the aging process, and already is the size of a minivan, similar to that of our current Tyrannosaurus that some call Roberta. John Hammond, however, was not pleased by these results. No meeting was necessary to discuss what must be done with the creature. He ordered my staff to terminate it, deeming it far too dangerous to be shown to the guests. And so, in 3 days' time, he received the documents confirming the deed was done. I must give John his due credit. The man is a true genius. If not for him, this entire operation would not be possible. His dream is the reason these creatures are here among us again. However, his main flaw is that he doesn't value the minor details, including that of my personal study. The biome that I have created for 2232 is reminiscent of that of the forest above. It is a place that will remain as I continue to study it, to learn of its true nature. There is over a year to go, after all. Minds can change over time. Until then, I will monitor 2232's behavior and learn all that I can. End of log. Log entry 2. Date March 29th, 1992.
last few months have been spent viewing 2232 from afar. Thus far, I have learnt that its diet is mainly the same as Roberta's, albeit more voracious and requiring of more goats. Something that is worth noting is how it sleeps. The way it lays there, with one eye open, you can draw parallels to that of the sleep patterns of a modern-day chicken. However, at closer observation, I have found that it requires more exercise than minor goats and steer. I will do whatever it takes to ensure that this animal is ready for opening day. When those pathetic humans see him, they will never trust the word of John Hammond again. End of log. Log entry 3. Date, August 5th, 1992. Muldoon has gotten suspicious. He's been watching. With a dwindling number of goats, he and Howard have been talking. They could find out. As if Muldoon was not enough of an annoyance, he now has to follow my trail and accuse me of malpractice. And now, he's assigned Geoffrey Brown to investigate my office. I have no intention of leaving this unanswered. And so, it is by proxy that something must be done. And something will be done. Upon further study, at one instance, 2232 had let out a deafening roar. Immediately after the session was over, I had heard that one of the velociraptors had attempted to escape their paddock. A few days later, a similar incident occurred. A worker was horribly mauled not 12 minutes after 2232 had roared in a similar fashion. It appears to be a sort of communications, as if it somehow knew how to get the attention of the velociraptors. It's egging them on. I am sure there's a way to make use of them. I cannot let anyone find this place. Too much is at stake here. My research, my creations, everything. This park will be the pinnacle of scientific discovery. People will not identify us on the same spectrum as them. No, they will see us as gods. If all of this goes according to plan, of course. As long as there are no further bumps in the road. So, I end this log here. Log entry 4. February 19th, 1993. It worked. It took him out. And all because of 2232. Finally, Muldoon has backed off. He should have stayed in that hovel in Africa where he belonged. If he doesn't watch himself, he'll be next. But I might just hold back on him. I am afraid that there are more things I need to tend to. More important things. Like you, Mr. Hammond. Oh, John. Your arrogance has always been what set you and Lockwood apart. Not even a washed-up failure like Steingarten showed the amount of thick-headedness that is within the compound of your mind. You claim to push the boundaries of science, but people like you simply do not have the willpower to go above and beyond the imagination of the average man. For nearly 2 years, I have been in this laboratory, monitoring my greatest creation. I have been keeping everything on this island up and running. I am the heart of InGen. I am the very thing that keeps you in that ridiculous white suit, John. I am the very reason that these people are coming to your island. You have promised them money, but where do you think that money comes from? If I turn off one switch down here, one switch, everything up there goes downhill. Everything plummets faster than you can even blink. You say that the only danger to your company is lawyers? You're wrong, John. You are wrong. The biggest danger to you is me. And what would happen if I unlock the door for you? Dennis? Yes, Mr. Nedry. I know why it is you're really here. I have known you would come for quite some time. You've been sent by Steingarten's little intern, Mr. Dodgson. How much did he offer you? $1 million? However much he offered, it had to have been worth your time. Otherwise, you wouldn't have gotten this far. You would not have found my tapes otherwise. And if you have gotten this far, you must really have time on your hands. And you simply must agree with what I've had to say in these tapes. Now, the question you may be asking yourself is, why exactly am I reaching out to you? The answer is simple. It is because the window of opportunity is waiting to be opened. You want those embryos that Dodgson has sent you here for, and I wish to bring down the empire Hammond has built. I will be opening the door for you, but do not indulge this information to anyone. If you do, then I will find you. Or, better yet, my child will. So watch where you put your fingers, and always look over your shoulder. And yes, that even means you, Howard King. Spare no expense. Okay, is this thing on? We recording? Okay, good. Case number 1428, date June 27th, 1993. There are times when our faith is challenged. There are times when we question what is truly real and what is fiction. Today, I have interviewed the survivors of the infamous Isla Nublar incident. John Hammond, the founder of InGen Genetics, was unfortunately not among them. Having met a tragic fate on his own island, the Costa Rican Guard has now labeled it as a restricted stretch of land. On June 23rd, the survivors of said incident were identified as famous archaeologists Alan Grant and Ellie Sackler. There was also chaotician Ian Malcolm, Hammond's lawyer, Donald Gennaro, his grandchildren Timothy and Alexis Murphy, renowned geneticist Henry Wu, and biologist Howard King. Thanks to the information given by the survivors, we now know the number of casualties dealt by the incident. We have a number of 74 deaths confirmed. To name a few, these names include publicist Ed Regis, wildlife veterinarian Jerry Harding, technician Dennis Nedry, security guards Carl Rodriguez, Gertie Arnolds, Ralph Michaels, David McCreary, James King, son of survivor Howard King, and, as mentioned before, John Hammond. Out of all the survivors previously listed, Howard King was the one who had the most to speak of when questioned. Currently, Mr. King wishes to remain silent out of shock, but has previously shared his experience with me. By the time of the storm, Mr. King had been traveling south in a Jeep at the same time as Ed Regis. The two had been sent out to find the absent Dennis Nedry. Once the storm had hit, his Jeep lost control and Mr. King had lost consciousness. By the time he awoke, Ed Regis had disappeared as well. For 2 days, Howard King has survived in the jumble by his own wits, eventually coming across the remains of Mr. Regis himself, one partially eaten leg. When he made it back to the visitor center, it was shortly after the departure of Ellie Sackler and Henry Wu through the sewer culverts. A team of mercenaries had arrived by then and found Mr. King passed out on the center's floor. They say he was dehydrated and barely alive. Currently, Mr. King is being treated by the medical group at Costa Rica, where the survivors are being detained. Word of the incident had reached the public, and they were not at all happy with this revelation. After pressing backlash from protesters, whoever stood on Hammond's side of the spectrum, Isla Nublar has been labeled restricted from any and all travel, by boat, by plane, or otherwise. All travel to Isla Nublar will be dealt with accordingly by the Costa Rican government. If there is anything that we have learned from this ordeal, is that nothing in this world is set in stone. We, as human beings, are cruel and yearning for a way to make a name for ourselves. And we take drastic roads to make them. We pray that God above treats the unfortunate victims of John Hammond's final business venture to the peace they are owed. And communication.